This Hangout on Air is live. Hi, my Flat Earth family. How are you this week? It's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to Karen in Florida.
Happy Mother's Day, Marilyn.
Thank you. And I had a wonderful Mother's Day, and my son it took us out for breakfast, my mother and me, and then I went up with my mom to see my brother and sister, and we went out and had lunch then. So I've been eating all day.
Oh,
So, and you were a good daughter and helped your mother take some pictures that she needed for an insurance claim or something. So
yeah,
you did the right thing, even though
yeah.
you
We had
didn't go
to.
out.
We just skipped lunch because it was just too frustrating for her, and took pictures for, like you said, an insurance claim, and that made her happy, and that's all that's important.
Yeah, that's right. You're a good daughter. See,
Uh,
you're a hungry good daughter because you didn't go out to
yeah,
lunch.
yeah. We definitely went and got food as soon as we left there.
Oh, all righty. Well. So I guess this week in the news is I had some videos from last week's craft fair, and in that series of videos, there was a little section that I was having a private conversation with someone, and I inadvertently videotaped it. Well, you know me. I mean, I just wear my camera into the bathroom. So, like, I don't even think about things. It just happens. So, I played that video and I thought, well, should I put this one up there? And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to put this up. And then just let the chips fall where they may, because I was ready to have this all come out. So I put that video up there, and in that video I spoke about these three activists that I have been associated with for over a year and a half now. So hold on a second. There we go. So I'm trying to put the chat on here so I can see if I can talk to anybody on the chat. So yeah, so I just put it up there and just to see what would happen from that, because I was ready for it to come out. Now, Fokker is one of them, Flat Earth Fokker. He's one of them. And he had already left our Hangout. We had an open Hangout, and we would post things on there, and we would talk to each other frequently, several times a week. Somebody would post something, somebody would respond, and last year was very busy with us, talking about things. And so Fokker had already left the Hangout. He said he was going to be going on to different things. Karen, if you want to mute yours, do you know how to mute your mic on your...
I'm looking for it. Oh, wait. Yes.
Okay, because that way, yeah, there you go. That way, if you cough or something, it's not jumping around. But if you want to say something, just interrupt me. That's fine. So, like, Fokker was on to Mandela Effect with that Brian Staveley guy. And there's Boxer. Hey, Boxer, how are you? So, so he had already left and moved on to different things. And I said, well, okay, Fokker, if you're going to, like, take a break from Flat Earth, then why don't you give us the banner back or pass it on to somebody who's going to use it? And that was a big rigmarole about that. He called us Indian giver kind of people, that kind of thing. He was like saying bad things about Flat Earth 101, Dave Gessner and I, for suggesting that the banner that we gave him free of charge be used and not just sitting in his car. So Yeah, like shame on us for even considering that he passed that on. So the I had, he said he was moving on, so that was no big deal. So I had always struggled with Flat Earth Fokker and his language, and he was always negative too. So that was one of the reasons why we gave him the banner in the first place, was to try and cheer him up, give him some encouragement, embolden him a little bit, to think that we were supporting him and his outreach. So that didn't work, and he was still very downer, negative. And you know what? It was just a lot to deal with for me. For me, it was a lot to deal with. So that he left on his own accord, and that was fine. So then another person who was negative and a downer, doom and gloom, was Zoom Truth. Now, maybe you guys, who are listening don't know these guys, but yeah, Zoom has been online and made videos where he's been very negative and down. And I've been trying for a year and a half to encourage him, build him up, say, oh, don't do that, say this, keep up your spirits, we'll do this, we'll, and, it was very difficult at times. Now, there were some times that were good. He was jovial and whatnot, but I can't say it was all bad. But it was a struggle. I'm an organized person. I'm very, I would say, structured, but Zoom is not like that at all. And so I tried, my best to encourage and get along. But the doom and gloom is it's got to go. It's just got to go. So David Zoom got on a video with DITRH, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, David Weiss. So I'll just call him Dearth, because everybody does. It's just one of those things. So he was on a video with Dearth, and I wrote down some notes, and I'm just going to go through these notes. So bear with me if I'm take a little time to read it and then respond. And I remember a long time ago, I was driving up to Boston, and once or twice a year, I would go up there and take my daughter to college. And I said something to Dearth. I said, oh, great, we can meet up for coffee when I go through Connecticut. And, there was less than no response. So I can't find that right now. So, but this is what I was experiencing at the time. So, there's Sky Fly Bry. Hello. So Dearth said something about, we know what they are doing. Why don't they know what we are doing? And I said, that's wrong. This sets them in a different place. And then I said, wrong. The conference does not do activism. And so this is what, Dearth was talking about the American Conference, and that's their outreach, and this is their thing. And okay, so it's been already said that the conference is more like a big meetup, and it is. But the conference really, until we made a big stink, they did nothing about activism. And when they did, they had Josh come in, and they put him in a separate room, not on the front stage. And they do not encourage, promote, support, or do activism. They don't do that. So this has been my objection to the American Conference all along. From the very first in Raleigh, I went to that. I'm there. Well, what is the purpose of this? I thought I would go there and get tools, like tools for And if you don't know what tools are, it's training on outreach, because that's what I am totally about. Any true flat earther should be totally about outreach of some sort, somehow. And if you're not, then there's something missing. And
Marilyn, I agree with you on the conference, because I mean, when just the word conference, when you think of any kind of conference, you go there to learn and whatever, to learn about whatever the conference is about, and to hopefully have, like you say, tools available for you. And when I think of going to a conference, that's how it should be. Not a bunch of flat earthers that get up and tell their story. You know, that is a meetup.
Like
That's a meetup.
How great am I? They get on the stage. Oh, I'm a great guy. That's what they do.
Yeah. And you know what? The only people that watch those conferences are other flat earthers. So it's not
the
like
outreach. So so this is what Dirth said, is that he put up the billboard, and the billboard was seen by thousands, and it was a wonderful billboard, and he did that on his own. And if I'm not wrong, he said something about he spent $15,000 to wake people up. So did he put $15,000 out for the billboard? I wasn't clear on that, so you're free to put something in the comment. But okay, so you put out a billboard to advertise the conference. Okay, so you advertised the conference. Oh, that's good. The words flat earth were up there. Okay. So Dave Gessner from Flat Earth 101 is looking to put out billboards all year long, and just about flat earth, not about the conference.
right.
So what are you really doing for outreach? He also said he made up a $125 coffee table book. Okay, well, I guess there's people out there who will spend $125 for a coffee table book. Not me. So no, really, it's fine. Dirth, I am not like, I just don't understand that. Okay, so if you can say, you know, well, this is reaching a lot of people, I've sold 10,000 of these books, then great, and I apologize, but I'm just not hearing that.
Huh.
Yeah. So
now, didn't he also do the flat earth sun and moon clock? It's an app.
Yes, he does have an app. So if he can use that for outreach, if that's a tool, then we need to have that. But I'm not going to download anything on my phone. I'll have an old phone.
Well, what I was going to say about that is I haven't downloaded his app because you have to pay for it. But there is another app that, just looking at the pictures of what you see in the app, to me, it looks like pretty much the same thing, and it's free. And that's the one that I downloaded. It's free. Of course, it has little ads down at the bottom. But I got to tell you, man, that app is so awesome, because you can, there's over on the right-hand side, there's two little toggle switches that you can fast forward either the hours or the days. So I hit the days fast forward, and you can watch. I mean, the clock is just flying. It's like an analog clock. And so the arms are just flying around it. But I did it because I wanted to see if the sun that is on the hour hand, if it moved between the tropics, because the tropics are shown on the map, and the equator. So I sped it up, and I watched like 6 months of it, you know, really fast. And the sun moves on the hour hand between the two tropics.
Yeah.
It is awesome. It shows you where the moon is and the phase of the moon.
Yeah.
So if anyone is, looking at the one you have to pay for, there's a free one that's just like it.
Okay. Well, he won't be happy to hear that.
Yeah. And the commercials are very limited because a lot of people, don't like the free ones
Right.
because of the commercials, but they're very limited. When you open it, you see a commercial, which you could just exit out. And at the bottom of the screen is just a real little tiny writing down there
Okay.
for advertising something. So the ads are really not in the way.
Okay. Awesome to know that. So,
Yeah,
if you were out on the street like I am, I probably couldn't use it because the sun would make it impossible to see.
you're right. I've tried
So,
doing that.
and I
I've
don't,
shown it to a couple people and you couldn't really see it.
yeah, and so I don't frequent bars, so, or where it's dark, so I wouldn't be. Okay, but if you can use it, Flat Earth Boxer says the app is very useful, actually. So I'm glad. If he can use it, that's great. That's good. But I would still like to see a billboard all year long and just about flat Earth and not just advertising the conference.
Right. Well, and maybe we could slide a little promotion in here for the GoFundMe, because David has a GoFundMe set up for that billboard, and I haven't checked it in maybe 5 days, but the last time I checked it, I was the only person that had donated to it. So we got to get some more people putting some money in that so we can get this billboard all over and they're digital billboards.
Yeah.
So, it's like, it'll flash for I think it was 9 seconds.
Well, I put out a little video on that because Dave told me it was up in Pottstown. I said, well, I'll run up there and I'll get it on film and then we can all see. Now, it showed more on was it the north or west side than the east and south side. So so I had to go down a little and turn around and then get it again on that side. But he's doing that. And I think if anyone wants to participate, and he just puts up flatearth101.com. And you know what? That is, it says it all, because it takes you right to the website, and right on the first page of the website is Eric Dubé's 200 proofs. How much easier can you get?
Yeah.
So then back to this video, Zoom says, I want to be invited, meaning he wants to, have more participation with the conference gang. And Dirth said something about, oh, well, you just have to ask. And you know what? I don't know. It just didn't. I don't think it's not our fault. That's what I wrote down here. This is not our fault. There should be easy communication both ways. And I don't know if.
But is that another attempt at turn the camera on me?
Yeah, I got that positional feeling from that.
Yeah.
Like you come and ask me, like I'm bigger than you.
Yeah.
Like what? You know what we're doing. Don't you watch what we're doing here? Don't you see what we're doing? I mean, we're doing things that you guys aren't doing.
Yeah.
So why aren't you like offering or doing what we're doing, or why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you reaching out? Why aren't you with outreach? Why aren't you doing outreach? And that's what I've been saying for 2 years now.
Yeah.
So, all right. Oh, and even Durst said Eric Dubé should reach out to him too. And then he said something about the Art Bell show, and Eric Dubé backed out because he didn't want to do a sound check. I mean, that doesn't sound legitimate to me. I don't know. I just don't know. But Eric Dubé, if you're listening, maybe you want to watch that video and It's on Zoom Truth channel, and you can address that yourself because I don't know the answer to that. Oh, I have this other thing. Fokker himself said he was an actor. Now, he said he did acting. I heard later he did acting before he became a family man. Okay, so I don't know.
Well, just that in itself, though, I don't know about that. If you put it by itself, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't like people who pretend to be something they're not.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't understand actors. Is that my problem? I don't know.
Well, but the reason that's kind of the point of why I just said that, because if he was an actor before he had a family, then I mean, all that tells me is that he, I mean, couldn't have been anyone that was known actor, know. So
he couldn't make a living out of it.
Yeah. So I don't know if that in itself would be. Yeah, there's a lot more to the Zoom thing than the acting, I think.
That was Fokker who said he was an actor, not
Zoom. Fokker. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Fokker.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So then Dirth said something about he would like to get better at it, better at street activism or whatever it is, and because I wrote this comment, I said, in order to get better at it, you first have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
you're never going to get better at it unless you do it.
Yeah. Practice makes perfect.
So that's what I got out of that one video. Then what happened was Zoom came out with the apology tour. He made this video, and Zoom apologizes, and it had this I heart sorry, I'm heart sorry on the front of the video. Yeah. And it's like, what? And the only thing you can think of is kiss a double scribble. I mean, it just comes to your mind, doesn't it? Like, then he says Marilyn's spirit level is becoming militant. He said I was militant. So militant means like violent and like dogmatic and excuse me?
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think of there was, who is the great accuser?
Say that again?
Who is the great accuser? Do you know the answer to that?
Well, I think I know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Who is the great accuser?
Okay, I'm going to say Satan.
Yes. Yes. He's the great accuser.
Yes.
So anybody who starts accusing you of things that you have no idea what they're talking about, I mean, they're just throwing spaghetti on the ceiling and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. I mean, what are you doing, man? Oh, my goodness. So Zoom said he's trying to get away from being negative. Huh? Well, it doesn't sound like it if you're calling people militant. Then he starts listing the big channels, and he says, Zoom, haven't they done more than all of us? Zoom said, haven't they done more than all of us? I'm going to say no. No, they haven't. I have to go through videos because I'll tell you, I cannot follow any one of those big channels if they really are truly big. They have a lot of numbers on there, but they can be bought. I don't know that they did or not. I don't know that.
Yeah.
But I cannot follow and trust any of those channels 100%. I have to look through that material and I pick out what I can use. I
Right.
cannot just say, follow this guy, he'll tell you everything you need to know. That doesn't
Right.
happen.
Right.
And even with Eric Dubay, I will say, watch the 200 proofs, but don't watch when he's dressing up like Patricia Steer. You know, I mean, I just can't say that, you know? Like,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we're all just people, right? We're all just people.
Right.
We're all flawed. And you just have to laugh about it. But no, I can't follow any person. And I've been saying that from the very beginning also. Follow no man.
Right.
Follow no man.
Right.
Be discerning, no matter who it is. And anyone who knows scripture knows that. You've got to be discerning.
Yes, yes. And it's like you said, you go through and you pick out what you can use, because we can all teach each other something.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we're all going to agree on everything.
Right.
So, but we can learn from each other.
Yeah. And some videos go out and then they get criticism from some of us and then they learn. If they don't learn from the criticism, they learn not to do it again or they will get criticized.
Right, right.
So,
Otherwise, they just keep going. And who knows, maybe one day they'll figure it out,
yeah,
but
yeah,
who knows?
right. Well, I think somebody, I did a video on somebody who made a big boo-boo, and I don't think they're going to mess up again because I'm watching that kind of stuff. He hit a hot button with me, and I had to address it. I couldn't let it go because I didn't want people to be misled.
Right,
So
right.
I had to address it. And somebody came back, what the hell are you doing? Oh, sorry. What the? But that's what he said to me on a text, not the person I did a video, somebody else. What are you doing? How dare you do that against that guy? I'm there. Well, I deleted his comment. You don't put stuff like that on my channel.
Yeah.
So, all right, here, what else? All right, at 8:23, Zoom says, Marilyn is losing her freaking mind right now. She is going off the deep end. Okay, that's what he said. I wrote it down. And I already talked about the numbers of the big channels. We really don't know. Fokker all negative. Bear help him in his depression. He cries poor. Oh yeah, Fokker. Fokker was crying poor mouth all the time. Oh, no money, no money, no money. And then he flies his family off to Hawaii. Oh, poor Fokker. Oh, I feel
I
so
didn't know
bad
that.
for him.
I'm sorry.
I really feel bad for him.
Oh, yeah.
Not. Okay. And all I did say about how you guys really don't know the half of it because I was with all those guys in Hangout, behind the scenes, not putting it out there. Year and a half, and I was ticket. Here's the rest of the story. Oh, all right. Now I'm going to touch on this, and I hope you just think about this for a while. This is really very important. And it has to do with how do you discern an operative, an infiltrator. Okay. And I've spoken about this before, how to find a good channel, living by principles. And I was trying not to mention any names. So I'm not going to mention a name here, but I think you can figure it out who it was. So I went down to New Jersey and by invitation, I was invited to go down there and be with that person on the boardwalk and set up the banners and, do flat earth outreach. So I went down there and we were there for a little bit, and all of a sudden six cops show up. Not two, not three, 6.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking, all right, 6 cops. Well, the person I was with, I would say he's a lightweight. So it wouldn't take 6 cops to deal with just him.
Huh.
So why are there 6 here? And the person I was with started mouthing off to the cops. And I went up to that person and I said, you knock it off. You be respectful. And that person did not look at me. He kept his eyes straight ahead and looked at the cop. And I'm there. There's something wrong here.
Huh.
There was something very ominous about the whole setup, like it wasn't real. And after he did not respond to me, and I said, stop it. You be respectful. I backed away and I went and I sat down and I thought to myself, am I being set up here?
Huh.
And I am so glad that I got out of there alive because I refused to engage.
So what happened between him and the cop?
He got a ticket for filming on the boardwalk. Which,
How is that possible? How do you get a ticket for filming?
Well, it is, and I have a camera phone and I strap it around my neck. So
Right.
it doesn't look like I'm filming, but he has a big camera and he holds it on his shoulder.
Right.
And it obviously is filming. So
why can't you do that?
They said something about you have to get a permit, but that's for like a film crew to come in if they're filming a commercial, maybe for one of the businesses or
right.
See,
that's kind of weird.
Yes, and we even said after the cops gave the ticket and the left, we even said, well, look, there's cameras all over the buildings, and while the incident was going on, there was other people with their phone cameras filming the incident.
Right.
So it's not about filming. It was
No.
something else. They wanted, I think I've said enough. I think I've said exactly what I needed to say.
Okay.
So on that, you can decide for yourself if you think there was anything strange about that. I do.
Sounds weird.
Yes, very weird. And all right, so let's see. All right, Zoom asks me to commit to. Oh, here's another thing. Zoom Truth. He has this idea in his mind that he wants to do an experiment, and that experiment involves 2 miles of plastic tubing, and he's going to string this tubing for 1 mile and then cut it there and then string it for another mile. So there'll be 2 miles long with a cut in the middle. He's going to fill them up with water and see if they are level at from the first to the middle to the last. Okay. And I said, you know what? I think that's a bit much. I don't need to do that. I don't really want to be involved. When he first said it, I said, okay, I'll help you because I'm helpful. I want to help, encourage, and support and promote. So that's what I did. But then I backed out and I said, I don't want to be involved in this. And so he asked flat out, he asked me to commit to renouncing my flat earth if his experiment with the plastic tubes proved over 2 miles there was curvature. And my response to him was, I wouldn't do that unless I had total control over the experiment. And then I heard nothing more about it.
That's insane. Why would he ask you? Why would he say you needed to commit to that?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, it sounds like he's not really a flat earther.
Sounds like another setup to me.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you about these plastic tubing experiments. If you guys don't know about these plastic tubing things, I've seen several and I can debunk them. First off, there's so many ways to mess up that plastic tubing experiments. And the last one I saw, the guy even admitted, hey, I had to put this there. All you have to do is stop the airflow. And he had those ends taped.
Huh.
So all you have to do is stop the airflow and you can have skewed results.
Huh.
Because the water cannot equalize if the airflow is stopped.
Right.
Another way you can do it is if you put something in the tube, maybe a clear glass bead, that will stop the flow and nobody can detect where it is.
Huh.
So do not get involved with those tubing experiments. You'd seen them on top of mountains and somebody will say, look, I have this level and look, the horizon. And he's looking at a mountain in the distance, which really isn't the horizon because the horizon is the end of your sight line, which you could see past the mountain if it wasn't in your way. I mean, there's so much wrong with that.
Yeah.
So just be discerning. Don't let anybody back you up against a wall. Okay. All right. And also another time that we were on a hangout and David called me a shill and then he laughed. Oh, Marilyn's a shill. Well, I'm there. Did he really say that? Did he say that? Yeah.
Because you don't joke about that.
No, I don't think you should.
No.
Now, I should. Well, no, you all heard what was on the video because he played it in his video. He played the part where I said that someone told me just that morning, and I was talking to a fellow flat earther, and I said to him at the craft fair, I said, somebody told me this morning that Realm Walker had Flat Earth Society on something, one of his pages or something. And I said, that just happened this morning. And I was like confused about that at the time. And so I hadn't researched it yet. And I was just too busy getting all the craft fair stuff together. So it just like came out of my mouth. It was not meant to be an announcement. It just was said in and I have gone and told the guy that I was speaking to that, no, it wasn't true. It was just a mistake that I was told that. So, then I got a message from Realm Walker. He says, I forgive you, but we cannot be friends anymore. So that was Realm Walker's response to me. Now, to tell you the truth, if that had been me, I would have at least asked first, what was that all about? Why'd you say it? But yeah. He didn't do that. So the result is I'm relieved. I am relieved that these three guys who are all negative and have all been like downers, I'm relieved. Okay, so don't feel bad about any of this, guys. Just go towards the positive, be positive and uplifting, encouraging, supporting, promoting, and doing teaching. Get out there and do teaching. The big channels. All right, let me go on with my notes here. The big channels are getting ready for their next show. And that's what it kind of seems like. And then Zoom says Paul Logan was a brilliant move. Yeah. Paul Logan was a brilliant move. Okay. So
I've heard other people say that too.
Well, okay. It could be seen like that. It's just not the way that I like to do business. I don't like, you know, I don't know. I'm just not a user.
I mean, I think they think that because he is so big and reaches so many people, and some people will say, well, at least he's got something about flat earth. But I mean, he flat out says, no, the earth is not flat.
Yeah, but what about the fallout? Yeah, that's right, Karen. What about the fallout? What happened afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
credibility is lost, and those kids are just laughing and mocking us now.
right.
I don't think any of them would take flat earth seriously. So was it really a good move?
No, it was not at all a good move.
I don't think it was at all.
I think they should have seen him coming, you know, at the convention.
And why would they give this this Logan Paul front stage, time on the front stage, and not Josh, Authentic Intent, front stage?
Yep. That just, I'm sorry, pisses me off.
Yes.
You know, that is not right.
See, they don't want outreach. So why'd they put him on there? For a conference that does not promote outreach, and they want to say that they brought Logan Paul in there for outreach? Sorry, doesn't cut the mustard with me.
Yep.
Okay. Zoom said we're going to have to go another way. Okay, and then Robbie Davidson, the conference gang, do not promote. Okay, flat earth. Flat earth asshole. Somehow he came up. Flat earth asshole. And I don't approve of that. And then somebody said, don't judge, and they laughed about it. Okay, I'm just going over my notes. Forgive me. All right. In scripture, it says if you are not for me, you are against me. And
there's no riding the fence.
Right.
Can't ride the fence. Right. There's no gray. There's black and white.
Right. So you can't be born again Christian one day and then say you're not. You can't do that. You're just a deceiver. So either you're all in or you're all out. So you're all out, Zoom. You can't do this. You can't be halfway. And then Zoom brought up about the apes. Remember, someone told us that the apes were all like robotic, and or a guy in an ape suit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zoom brought that up as though that's what we really think. Well, what my response was, there's totally not enough evidence on this. I'm going to reserve judgment on this thing. But I like that people bring those things up because it teaches you to think critically. Okay. All right. So is this possible? Is it very possible that they have a robot in a gorilla suit at the zoo and they can make him do like apish kind of things and we don't know the difference? I mean, look at Planet of the Apes. Of course, it was a little bit early in the robotic era or ape suit era or makeup, on these things. And we could kind of tell that it was faked. But I'll tell you what, when I was a teenager, I went down to Disney World in Florida. And we went to the Hall of Presidents. And I sat there and each president would come take a step forward or just stand in place. They had them all across the stage. And at each time the spotlight would be on a president and they would give like a little speech. And you sat there and you looked at them and you could swear that, oh my gosh, he was real there for a minute. They were very lifelike. Even 40 years ago, they were very lifelike.
Yep.
So do I think there could be a robot in an ape suit at the zoo? Yeah. I think they could program them to even like eat bananas. I think they could program an ape suit, a robot to climb a tree, walk into the enclosure, look around. move his lips, blink his eyes. Yeah, they could do all that. Is it true? Are all apes robots? I don't know that.
Well, we are supposed to question everything.
And that's what we do.
Yes. So, and there's, okay, it's been brought up. Let's look into it and form an opinion of it. We're supposed to do that.
But we don't have to say yay or nay. We can say not enough information yet, or,
right.
We can do that.
Right.
So, yeah, what else? Oh, the Limitless channel. Fokker went on the Limitless channel, and I have been trying to figure out what is the Limitless channel. They say they're Christians, so why would Fokker even go on there? That doesn't make sense to me. And I can't figure out really what oh yes, I do. They have this map. They say they have a flat earth map, but it looks very strange. It's a very it's like a cutaway. It's not like contiguous in any way. So I think they're on the fringe. They're kind of like what's the name of that? When you're in a hologram, or what do they call that?
Oh, I'm not sure.
When you're in not a scenario, simulation.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that they are in that group in my mind. In my category, I'm going to put them in is the simulation or concave Earth, or that's the kind of group that they're in.
I am not familiar with that channel, so
yeah.
I've heard the name, but that's it.
Yeah, so Fokker went on there, which makes no sense to me.
Huh.
All right. That the incident that happened last December when Zoom, Doom and Gloom and I were we were planning that winter outreach down at Philadelphia, the Christmas Village. And in the middle of it, he staged a fight with me, and I said, okay, I'm out of here. So I left the hangout, and then right before it, he got me back in there. And you know me, I'm forgiving and go along, get along, like let's try and work things out kind of a thing. I don't go along to get along, but he was doing something and I wanted it to succeed. So by the time I came back, he had changed everything. All the plans were changed. And I'm thinking, oh, so this is why he started that fight with me. So he could change everything and get rid of all the good stuff that I had in there, because I had been to rallies down there, and what I had initially put into that plan, that city would have seen us coming. But no, he had it where
what did he change it to?
Just meet at the village and we'll just hold banners there. But you know what he did? It was really like, he took his banner and he was like, those things, the way he carries this banner, it's like a woman in a hoop skirt. You just can't get too close. And he's like wielding this thing around, and it was very disruptive.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
All right. So that did not go as originally planned, and then he just left. And he blames a lot of things on his brother. And I think that's very lame. So I don't think that he should do that. But of course, he can do whatever he chooses. But I'm not doing anything with him anymore, because I don't want to operate like that. I don't want to do that. So this is what we do. We be discerning, and we choose how we want to do things, and he can go his way, and I'll do my thing my way.
Right.
And that's how we're going to get along, by him being over there and me being over here. And then we can get along really good.
Yeah.
Just like my ex-husband, he's now in Kentucky, and we get along great.
Yeah.
All right, here's something else I think was really funny. Oh, we just had Ephesians Day yesterday, which we're going to get to. But Ephesians Day really isn't going to happen. That's what Zoom said. At 45 and 39 seconds, Ephesians Day really isn't going to happen. And my comment back to you, Zoom, is, I got news for you, Zoom. I already did it. Because that was my craft fair thing. And then, guess what I had on the video today? I had 2 hours and 50 minutes of Fokker with a group of people out at their science museum up in Vancouver. And I'm there, oh, is this Fokker taking a break? I thought it was great. But how come he's not taking that break? I don't know. What happened there? I even, my comment on the video was, who planned this? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I can't imagine that Fokker planned that, because he was getting away from flat Earth.
Huh.
All very confusing.
Yeah.
And then Zoom goes on at 52 and 45. He goes on and he says he's promoting Dearth's a website, stoplookandthink.com. And he says, how can anyone be against stoplookthink.com? Well, did anybody say anything against that? Nobody. Nobody said anything against Dearth's website. So why is he saying that? I don't know. All right. Fury and Philly, we went on about that. Oh, okay. Zoom Truth has a people finder. And when I first signed up for that, I had to sign up 3 times for it to stick. But the first time I said, no, I'm not going to do this because they want your street address. I'm not going to put my street address. So I put in like a business on Main Street, Lansdale, which, you know, it's far enough away, but, and they didn't take it. So he said, okay, now you only have to put your town in there. Well, that's better.
Yes.
I think if anybody who's on any kind of social media, like Facebook or whatever, they're going to know what town you live in. They're going to know that.
Right.
So what the heck? I mean, if they're going to come and get me, they're going to come and get me.
Right.
All right. Let me see the next thing. Negative God's word. Negativity. If you keep going against this creation, then you will have to. Okay. All right. God's word is written on our heart. Okay. And creation is of God. Okay. So if you keep going against his creation, then it will have an effect on you. You will suffer because you are fighting against the creator. It's a fact. So if you want to have the peace that passes all understanding, then you have to be in God, and God has to be in you. So you have to be one with the Spirit, and then you will have peace, even if we are in this crazy, corrupt world. So that's just a little love that I'm sharing out there with everyone, and especially the people that we've been talking about. All All right, now I want to bring up something else about, I'm getting right down near the end of my notes. This is excellent. I want to talk about infiltrators a little bit and operatives. Okay, what would an operative do? Okay, what would an infiltrator do? Well, first off, they want to get into the group and they don't want to be detected. So they're going to be your friend. They are going to do all sorts of good deeds. They are going to win your respect and affection and try to gain your trust.
Right.
So they are going to be everything you need. And that is their initiation. You know, when you go into a fraternity at a college, they have hazing or an initiation rite. You have to do things that make you look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do things that you wouldn't normally do as a proper human being.
It'd be humiliating.
But it's humiliation that's totally unnecessary, and it's humiliation for the sake of the group, of the fraternity or whatever. See, now when my sister was being hazed, you know, you have to wear a little beanie cap or a dunce cap, or you have to do something silly. Well, it's not silly anymore. This is serious business. So if you are part of like an infiltrator group that wants to get into the flat earth movement, then, and I know an infiltrator that was in the Patriot movement too. She was very evil, but I knew her before she went to the Patriot group, and I set out a warning. I said, be very careful around that woman, because I know her from Hilltown Township, where they came after me and my family and really ruined my family and ruined my whole, you know, lost our house and everything. If you don't know that story, I've said it before. But she was part of that. And then I found out that she was like head of the tax objectors group. They were like tax watchdogs. And who would be better for that than an infiltrator? You want to lead the group. That way you can control the actions of the group.
Right.
So they're just gonna lie and pretend to be activists or teachers, and they're really not. So now how do you know who's true and who's not? Well, watch what they do. Watch what they do, not what they say. Watch what they do.
Right.
So you all have to decide for yourselves who are the true people and who are not. You know, don't go say, oh, well, this guy has a lot of subscribers, he must be good.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't do that. So I think that there's some who have been infiltrating our ranks and pretending to be activists or teachers, and they've gone off on tangents, and they've been real Logan Pauls.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Limitless channel infiltrators. What do they do? I'm on my last page. Oh shit. Oh, okay. I had to unfriend a former flat earther because he's going off on this tangent. It's the concave earth tangent. And I was willing to keep him on as a friend. And then he said today that the above the above in this thread, and that was me. The above people who were talking in this thread on Facebook, they are not motivated by truth and integrity. So I had to unfriend him and another guy who was another concaver talking with me on that. See, I was even willing to like ask questions of the concave theory,
Right.
just to see what are they thinking about, you know. And there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but when they start talking like that, then I have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I agree.
stay away from the entertainment kind. If you are out and only having one conversation an hour, barring bad weather or something, then you are a fake. That's my conclusion. If you are out on the street and you're only talking to one person an hour, there's something wrong. And you're a fake. I'm going to call you a fake. And
Well,
I even go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you're only talking to one person an hour, you're in a dead spot. So why wouldn't you go to an area that has a lot more people in it?
Oh no, this person goes back to the same area
Over and over
I've
with
seen it
no people.
at least 2 times, maybe 3. I haven't seen it recently. Why would he do that? So
I don't know.
That's my thing. One person an hour and the rest is on your face and you're just talking.
Yeah.
What's that about? So all right, when we do this hangout, it's for a purpose. We are talking about things that have happened, things to really look out for.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a purpose for the camera to be on us. It's a hangout. This is what the purpose of it is. But when you're out on the street, I don't see a purpose for the camera to be on you unless, you know, it's a little slow right then at the minute, then you can turn it on yourself. But as soon as people come up, then you turn it back because it's about them.
Exactly. I was just going to say that. It's about the people.
Yeah.
So we want to see when I watch you, it's like I get to see all of these people that you're addressing and how they're reacting to you, what they're saying, how their body language is, and then how you respond to that. Yeah. So that's what it's about, the people that are out there, not us.
Right. And I even think that one person an hour might be another operative just coming up to them on that lonely street so they can at least say, well, I talked to 3 people today.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if there's a group of these operatives out there, sure, why wouldn't they have one of their other buddies come along and, oh yeah, come over, I'm going to be at this street corner, come over and have a conversation with me and just say a couple of things.
Yeah, they might even be having their own meetups. Yeah. I mean, who knows?
Yeah. So just, you know, be discerning out there. Let me see if there's anything else. Was there something that you wanted to talk about, Karen, now that we're here?
Well, I wish I had time to finish watching your other videos from the rally so that, you know, I would know more about, you know, what to talk about with that. But I've only gotten through the first 2 and just barely started the 3rd one. So the conversation, I'm sorry, I'm getting 2 different things mixed up. But yeah, the rally, I want you to, you know, tell everyone about the rally.
Yes, there's a Pennsylvania Representative Sims who harassed and bullied 2 teenage girls that were praying in front of an abortion clinic. And you can see that I have those videos up there. If you go to the 3rd video, you will see me flat smack 3 Patriot guys who came there from Maryland. So I did have a flat smack on there. And the first guy handed the paper back to me. And then I pulled another card out, put them together, and then I just held them like this. And then the third guy over there said to me, well, I'll take them. And I just extended my arm and he took them. But I kept talking to this one guy.
Yeah.
And so, but the other two were listening. And sometimes it's easier to hear something when when somebody's eyes are not on you.
Right.
So and some people say that I'm intimidating because I look people in the eye. And so I thought it was good to just stay there on the one guy and hand them off to my side to the other guy. And he took them. So I think they had an interesting ride home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But and I did an interview of Jack Prosobiec, who's an up and coming in Pennsylvania, and I thought that was good.
I can't imagine this guy Sims, which I had no idea who he was till I heard about the Planned Parenthood incidents, the young girls and the old white lady. Don't forget about the old white lady that he was harassing, which was hideous. I mean, I watched that video and first of all, I was brokenhearted. And secondly, I was so pissed off that someone like that is a public servant. He's a representative, right? Yeah, the representative. That's just disgusting. And how did he even get elected?
Well, now what did we just talk about? We talked about these initiations. So maybe for Sims, this was part of his initiation to go higher up, because we know the government is filled with these operatives and these people. We know that.
Oh my gosh, that's excellent. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
It could have been something like that, his initiation.
Now, I mean, isn't it all over that we see these politicians coming out with broken legs, broken arms, and black eyes?
Yep.
Aren't they all showing up like that? I mean, that's all over the internet. I mean,
yeah,
that's nothing new. I'm not telling any secrets.
Right.
So you have to know that they're doing those kinds of things. You stand here, you get punched in the eye, you don't complain about it if you want your next promotion.
Right.
I mean, don't you hear that? So, yeah.
Wow.
Because who would do that? I mean, really.
I mean, I could see just someone on the street doing that, but not a state representative.
Well, and even someone on the street would have to be like on drugs or drunk or something. I just can't imagine.
No, I disagree with that. Okay, I disagree with that, definitely. I don't think they would need to be drunk or on drugs. I think the only thing they really need is the demon that possesses them to that, guides them leads them into these situations. Because that guy, I mean, you can just look at that guy and he's got demons.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't think that it has to be someone that's messed up on drugs. All they got to have is that demon.
And I was told that he has a husband.
Oh, bless his heart. Oh.
So, he's definitely confused.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, is there anybody in the chat that has a question? I'm like not paying a whole lot of attention to it, but I have paid some attention. Oh my goodness, it's only been an hour. Oh, I thought for sure it was like 2 hours. Maybe I've been talking too much, but
well, you had some information you needed to get out. So yeah. I've been listening and learning.
Okay.
And hopefully everyone else.
Yeah.
Because I know that you know You
ahead,
know
Ann.
these people a lot better than I do.
Write your question, Anthony, in the chat, and we'll try and answer it. Yeah, I do know those people better than a lot, and
Yeah.
and I've I've had telephone conversations. I've worked in person with them. So I'm looking for Anthony's question now. Government is full of the demons. Yes, it is, Brenda. Absolutely. What kind of drugs are you on, and where can I get some? Oh, Anthony, please.
Oh gosh.
I have a garden, and I have chives. I'm there. Why am I growing these chives? I mean, I never used them, and it's like a foot round circle of these chives, and they're gorgeous looking, and they like taste like an onion. I'm there. What? So I look on YouTube and I say, what can I do with chives? And now I think I can use them because you get some ideas what you can do with them. So I like them now again. I was going to dig them up, but now I like them, so I can use them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. 24 hours on 8. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to say, Karen? Let me think. Was there something I wanted to say?
Well, I just, of course I told you this before the live went on, but unfortunately I haven't been able to get out too much this week, and other than my normal just people as I meet them in as I'm out and about, the different people I talk to one-on-one, which I really like that. I do well with one-on-one, but because I watch you with these crowds of people and I'm like, oh my gosh, I would be sweating big time.
Yeah.
Because they're just coming at you from so many different directions. I love more, or I mean, it doesn't have to be just one, but if it's me and maybe 1 to 3, 4 people, I do well with that. And I do that every day when I go out. But, or I should say every day I go out. But this week I haven't been able to do much of the outreach and teaching, because I've been doing this stuff around the house that had to get done. So anyway, next week I should have some more to share.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. Well, okay. I guess that'll be it then. If we didn't have any real questions from the chat. So, all right. I had a long day, and it was a wonderful day. Had a wonderful time with family today. And so I wish everyone a happy Mother's Day, all the mothers out there. And so everybody has a mother.
Yeah. If you're here, you got a mother.
That's right. If you're here, you had to have a mother somewhere. And if she's not with you, then pray for her. And, even if you were like adopted, just pray for them. You don't know the situations, and so it's hard. But I will go through the chat. Thank you, Flat Earth is New Jerusalem. I will read that. And okay, I guess that's all we have to say. And thank you for listening. And we'll be back next week. All right.
Bye.
Bye.